I've gotten the thumbs up. We have Alan Verlander, Executive Director of Sports and Entertainment, joining us on this Wednesday afternoon. Make sure you follow him on Twitter. It's at Alan Verlander. How goes it, Alan?
Richard, it's good. I'm sorry I'm a little late in joining you, but all is well in the city of Jacksonville.
Oh, that's good to hear. Are you like the protector of Jacksonville? We discussed last week. You're not the czar, but are you the protector? Are you like Superman of Jacksonville?
You know, I'm just a guy that's just trying to have fun doing his job and bring some events to the town, you know?
So what you're telling me, Alan, is you're more like Clark Kent.
Yeah, I'm definitely not Superman, so I'm definitely, before you put that cape on, I'm more like the suit guy that Clark goes into work every day.
All right, good deal, Alan. How's the week been? Have you been busy?
It has been. You know, it's this Jaguar game week, so we got a lot of operational stuff going on, and just, you know, dealing with tickets and all that kind of stuff. And then we're actually taking a trip to Norfolk next week to visit the USS Baton, which we're going to play the basketball game on and be able to actually see it in person. And so, yeah, a lot going on. It's been good, and we've actually had some you know, just people inquiring about different things. What's going on in Jacksonville? Seems like there's kind of been an explosion of sporting stuff happening there, you know. So it's been a good week thus far.
Oh, well, very good. Now, let me ask you this. I know how important family is to you. Have you made enough time, plenty of time, for your girls?
I haven't. I've actually about to be heading home. My youngest turned 9 today, and she's her birthday, and she's so excited. She just called me and said, "Daddy, when are you going to be home? I need you to grill the steak." And so, you know, that's pretty much what my role is now. I'm just the griller and the provider. But no, she's it is. You know, it's interesting. I was talking to a friend of mine who's an AD, and I said, well, "What you got going on?" He said, "Well, you know, this weekend started college football, and we got a volleyball match Friday night, and then we got football Saturday and soccer Sunday, and then, you know, you got to work Monday because it's college athletics." And he said, "What are you going to do?" And I was like, you know, I don't know what my plans are. Mm-hmm. I don't have a volleyball Friday night. I'm probably going to sit in front of my TV, which I haven't done in 15 years, and watch college football. And then I don't know what I'm doing Sunday, and I've got the day off Monday. So it's definitely a different kind of world.
Yeah, definitely. Now, can you give us some insight? Do you have a birthday gift picked out? Maybe a bicycle or something?
You know what? She is big into. She's still big into dolls, and so she wanted this one particular doll. So, you know, I think that is exactly what we got her. And then my role was to make sure that I brought the card home, so I've done my job. No,
well, very good. You're clutch, Alan. Make sure you find Alan on Twitter. It's at Alan Verlander. I was reading some stuff with the Gainesville Sun, I think, earlier this week. You were talking about, you know, some of the ticket sales and everything. How close is the Navy Marine Corps Classic to being sold out?
You know, we're pretty close. I mean, we're to the point where every sale that comes in, you know, we have to bounce off of, you know, if we can kind of take the sale or not. So, you know, once we've set some tickets aside, obviously for the title sponsor, we're working pretty close to hopefully knocking that down here pretty soon. And so, you know, from the tickets that we've allotted for a title sponsor, and then everything that we have to give to the schools and the military, we're pretty much done. So, you know, when they reduced the capacity from 8,000 to 4,000, it really, you know, it kind of put us in a bind with having a lot of tickets to have out there to sell. So we're pretty much getting out of the ticket selling business now and just turning into full operations and sponsorships.
Mm-hmm. I saw as well that y'all are in negotiations with, quote, a big-time entertainer. When will that news be released?
We're hoping to release that next week, along with our you know, media partner and broadcast partner on this. We're dotting the I's and crossing the T's, and we've got it done. It's done in principle. It's just now it's the lawyers' turns to you know, make it complete. So we're hoping to be able to announce you know, everything kind of the conclusion of all the hanging chads, if you will, next week. So you'll be one of the first to know.
Oh, well, I like to hear that. Alan Verlander joining us every Wednesday on Miller on Sports. You can listen online at 1600thebeach.com. I had a friend ask me to ask this of you, Alan. Does the City of Jacksonville have the opportunity to either co-host or host the Atlantic Sun baseball and or basketball tournaments?
We do. That's something that when I was at JU, we clearly, looked at doing. I think from a hosting the baseball standpoint, they really the Atlantic Sun, because I served as a baseball liaison, so I maybe got a little bit more insight to the baseball championship.
Mm-hmm.
We really like to do it when I was there on the campuses because I'm just at the Atlantic Sun level. You don't have the massive followings like you do maybe at the SEC or something like that, but the crowds are really good on the college campuses. So, as I've told both UNF and we'll tell JU, Brad Edwards is still kind of getting situated over there, is, listen, if you want to go do that, we will be a co-sponsor with you, and we will help you do that. Now, in the case of the basketball tournament, that is definitely something that they just locked it up for another couple of years in Macon. But once that is up and once it did, which I think will be coming up somewhat soon for the following 2 years, that's something that I think we want to do and try to go after. So I know Mercer's been very good, and the teams like it because it's very central to all the teams coming in. But why not Jacksonville?
Were you at the Jags luncheon today?
I was. It was great. Were you there?
No, unfortunately, Alan, there's a business side to radio, so you got to take care of that from time to time. But how was it? Did you enjoy yourself?
Big time media, guys. That's what you always tell me, and yet every time I call you, y'all on the golf course. So I don't know what kind of business side of that is.
But Alan, I am playing tomorrow for the first time in about 10 days.
There you go.
That is because of the rain. Okay.
That's right. That's exactly right. Are you going to the game tomorrow night?
I should be down there. Yeah. Are you going to be there?
Okay. I will be.
Okay.
I will be down there. I'll be all over. Yeah, I thought the luncheon today was great. I thought the chamber always just does a great job with it, and I was talking to people. They had, it's sold out, and people were still calling this morning wanting to buy tables to it. So I think the Jaguars can feel really good, and when I talked to the Jags today at the event, I thought they felt really good about it. So. The real season will start here in a few weeks, and hopefully they can put a string of wins together.
Alan, do you have some time to maybe take a break with us and come back and talk some more Jags in the City of Jacksonville, or do you need to get home and grill?
Nope, I am on my way home, so you got me captured.
All right, well, that's what I like to hear. Alan Verlander, he's with us every Wednesday. You can listen online at 1600thebeach.com and find us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. We're on Ustream TV right now, Miller on Sports. You can find Alan. He's on Twitter. Follow him for updates on the City of Jacksonville. It's at Alan Verlander. We'll take a quick time out, come back, wrap up the show, talk to Alan, figure out what else is going on. Maybe some youth sports, some soccer, a little baseball, some Jags, and much more. Looking forward to it. Still no rain. Maybe it can hold off. I can run on down to the car, not get wet. No umbrella. That's an issue. Can I borrow Larry? Okay, Larry just said I can borrow his. We're good to go. That's what I like. More of the show, Miller on Sports. Stay tuned.
Now back to Miller on Sports, the show that pushes up its sleeves and gets to work. Everything else is just talk. Brought to you by the law offices of Ron Scholes.
Wrapping up a Wednesday edition. I think Wednesday is a close second to Thursday shows. They're getting really close. They're 1A and 1B. They're neck and neck. Photo finish. Let's bring back in Alan Verlander, Jacksonville's Executive Director of Sports and Entertainment. Make sure you find him on Twitter. It's at Alan Verlander. He's with us every Wednesday. Make sure you listen online at 1600thebeach.com. So, Alan, any plans? Which college football teams are you going to be watching this weekend?
I am. My team has always been Georgia Tech growing up. So, I'll certainly be watching them. But I'm just a fan of all of college football. You got some interesting matchups: Alabama, Michigan. just kind of watching him, taking it all in. You know, it's the first time in 15 years, literally, I haven't had to go to a game of my own. Whether I was at JU or whether I was at Sanford before that. So, you know, the fact that I'm going to wake up on a Saturday morning and literally not thinking about game operations or thinking about the sponsors or donors and all that, it's going to be a weird feeling this Saturday morning.
Alan, I'm talking to Kerwin Bell tomorrow, the head football coach over at JU, and I'm trying to figure this out. I've been asking a lot of people, keeping my ear very close to the ground. I know you're very well connected. Do you have any clue as to who's going to be starting for JU at quarterback?
You know, I've talked to him, and I know he's struggling with this decision because it's a tough one, and both quarterbacks really with Trevius and Cade, both quarterbacks really are totally different quarterbacks, and so I really think he's going to go with play two quarterbacks, and it could be situational or it could be series, and it'll be interesting to see how he handles that. But I tell you, the one thing that I've just always been really impressed with Kerwin is he always does the right thing. He always, he really is a guy of high integrity and a guy that always does the right thing. And he knows that his job, not necessarily is on the line, but he wants to win. And I can assure you this, the guy hates losing. And so whoever is going to give him the best chance to win, that's who's going to be on the field.
Very well said. Alan, in the past, we've discussed local youth events, soccer and baseball right here in Jacksonville and some of the surrounding areas. Are there any plans for any other major youth sporting events, say, over the next few months or so?
Yeah, not right now. We had a great meeting with the guys at UNF a few weeks ago on really taking the FHSAA track meet. That is going to be back at UNF in the spring, and really trying to make that, that was right as I came on board. And, I think we need to do as a city a better job of really promoting that. And obviously that's not youth, but that's high school. And we're looking at maybe trying to do some more stuff with the FHSAA, and have had some good meetings with them recently. And so, the next step really for youth sports is to, start really looking at all the different tournaments and all of those opportunities at the different facilities that we have. And I'm still trying to get even though I'm from here, I'm still trying to get a handle of all of our parks and recreation and all of those kind of assets that we have to really be able to sell.
Very interesting. I had the head coach from the girls team over at Bishop Kenny, Brian Hafey, join me, and we were talking about the Katie Caples Invitational. Is the city going to be involved with that?
Well, I'll be over there. My daughter's actually running in that. She's running cross country right now for bowls, and so I'm going to actually be over there. And that is one thing that's one thing that I really want to try to work on. And it's probably too late for this year with a lot of things, but to take some great events like that, and typically the city hasn't been involved, and to really start partnering with some of these events. Certainly, we've only got a staff of 2 or 3 people, so there's only so much we can really do. But really identifying some really good high school events that are done here, and Katie Caples is certainly one of those in the running world, that we can really partner with these high schools and really take them to a whole new point. And so. That's one of those things. You have your plan as you have your business plan in year 1. We're going to do this year 2, year 3. I think that's one of those things that's kind of a year one A kind of deal. Is now that we're kind of 2.5, 3 months into this, now we need to start identifying, what are those things that we can really expound upon and grow.
Alan, you mentioned a little earlier we're talking with Alan Verlander every Wednesday right here on Miller on Sports. Find him on Twitter. It's at Alan Verlander. You mentioned earlier about the game day operations and everything with the Jaguars game tomorrow night, final preseason game against Atlanta. What all goes into that?
Oh, it's a lot. I mean, it's funny. I brought in somebody to the first operations meeting just because they always just wanted to hear and see what operations were, and they were like, I had no idea everything goes into this. And most fans don't. Most fans just show up and the game's kicked off and you have no idea. But, traffic flow to everything that happens in the stadium, making sure that, everything is managed well and all the hot spots. And just because we've done this for 17 years, you still talk through everything and, vendors and part of the things that you have at big events like this is people try to take, for instance, like the Jaguar logo or the Georgia-Florida logo and try to sell stuff and it's not even licensed and trademarked. And so how do we take down those people? And then, unfortunately, within the world of big-time sporting events, you have the alcohol portion and managing people and making sure they're safe. And so there's a lot to go into operations. And then the Jaguars do their own operations because they're doing the fan excitement part of the game. And so, it's a major undertaking, but thankfully the team that is in place to do all these has been together for a very long time, so it's easy for me.
Do you have a favorite Jaguars player?
I think mine is probably Josh Scobie, not because he lives in my neighborhood, but I just think he really, even though he, isn't on the field all the time, I think he just really embodies a lot of the passion that the Jaguars, and when you see him make kicks and when you see him make good plays, he just gets very excited. Not to mention, he's won a few games for us in the past, and so. I really like him, but I just think that we've got a bunch of good young players that are really excited about playing in the NFL, and haven't lost that ability to just where it's a job, where it's still fun, and those are the players that I enjoy watching because they really are giving it everything they got.
Alan Verlander, Executive Director of Sports and Entertainment, every Wednesday at 5:20, joining us once again. Alan, I know you've got to get ready for the birthday party and everything. You're the cook tonight. You're the one grilling out. One final question, though. The Jags, from everything I've heard, an indoor practice facility is within, say, 2 years. I've even heard as early as next season. Is that something that the Jags and the City of Jacksonville have discussed?
Oh, yeah. That's obviously something that I know that that is definitely a need of theirs and a need of the cities too, quite frankly. And so, there'll be more discussions on that and just enable. You got to find the land. Obviously, you got to build it on a piece of land. So, as we begin to problem solve with them and look at those things, I can see that. I can see that being a reality, not too in the distant future.
Alan, anytime food is mentioned on Miller on Sports, I say that people either have to give me the menu or bring some kind of food in. Real quick, give me the menu for tonight.
The menu for tonight, I think it's steak. I think it's broccoli. I think it's a squashed cat, which is my 9-year-old's just absolute favorite. Which sounds good, but I've eaten it before, and so I like the broccoli. And then a birthday cake, and I'm not quite sure what else there, but that the last time I checked, which was about 9:10 this morning, that was the menu.
Sounds pretty good. Well, don't have too much broccoli. He is Alan Verlander, joining us every Wednesday, the Executive Director of Sports and Entertainment for our great city of Jacksonville, Florida. Find him on Twitter as well, at Alan Verlander. Alan, it's always a pleasure, and I'll probably see you tomorrow.
I hope so. Yeah, come look me up. Let's hang out. I got some stuff to share with you.
Sounds good. Alan, it's always a pleasure, and enjoy that birthday party.
Thanks, Richard. Talk to you soon. Have
Sounds
a good night.
good. You too. Alan Verlander, what a pleasure. Always fun. Oh, enjoying the broccoli. Not so much the other stuff. Thanks again to Matthew Driscoll, Steve Colby, Joshua Wilson, and Alan Verlander. Fun Wednesdays. Fun, fun, fun. Rain's holding off, at least at 4190 Belford Road. Keep up with us. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. It's Miller on Sports. We'll be back tomorrow for another edition of Miller on Sports.
This is the